What is up, cats and kittens, and welcome to the weekend Q&A, where I answer your questions from the ask.fm. Ask.fm/geekdom101 is the link to go to. Ask me whatever the fuck you want, and I will answer it. Just real quick, I wanted to make a quick comment before I begin. I know some people have been noticing that lately I've been a little bit irritated with some of the questions. I've come off a little grouchy, so I just want to say that, I've just been a little grouchy because sometimes you just get a lot of dumb questions, and I love answering questions, but sometimes it's like, come on, guys, use critical thinking. So my new policy now is, starting with this Q&A and all the future Q&As that I do, if I even remember, I'm going to be giving out the Dumbo Award. When I see a particularly dumb question, you will be getting the Dumbo hat. And I would mail it to you if I cared that much, but unfortunately for you, I do not. But thankfully, a lot of the dumb questions are kept to a minimum because I love each and every one of you. So let's go ahead and talk about this shit. First question from my boy, Majin Soul. Follow up on the hip-hop question I asked you earlier. Select the theme ring-in song for each of the major players in Dragon Ball, utilizing the only songs from the genre of North American hip-hop. That's going to take a while, bro. That's going to take me a while. But I would like to use Shook Ones for Vegeta, Shook Ones Part 2. That's a good one I think would fit. Maybe Nature of the Threat for Gohan. I think that would be a decent one. Shit, bro. I got to come up with this shit. Me Against the World would be good for a lot of people, actually. Me Against the World would be good for Cell, right? When he fights the army. It's just me against the world. That would be good. Life After Death would be great for Goku, the Biggie Life After Death song. Hypnotize would be good for General Blue. I'm just throwing some random ones out there, man. I don't know. But I would have to think about that to really give you a more thorough answer. But I want to hear what you have to say in the comment section. Not just you, Majin Soul, but if you're a hip-hop fan, pick a couple characters and let me know what theme songs from hip-hop would apply to them. Also, Dragon Boy question. Wouldn't it be cool like an early Dragon Ball if he transforms into a big dragon when he sees the solar eclipses? That would be interesting and unique, even though it's kind of, like the Uzaru. And also have unique and powerful transformations like Goku, like his version of Super Saiyan. Tell me that isn't a good fucking idea. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. It's just kind of the same thing. It's very shonen-esque. I would be fine with it. It's just that Toriyama's probably never going to go back to Dragon Boy again. But I suppose if the Dragon Boy story continued, I could see that. But it's kind of like what you're looking to do is take Dragon Boy and put him in a Dragon Ball, which it could work. I mean, would it have been successful? I don't know. They're kind of very similar. I would have been fine with it, though, like for a game or something. Can Beerus really destroy the universe? Because Old Kai says in the 3rd episode of DBS that Beerus can. I think so. I mean, they not just in episode 3, but also in episode, 12 or 13. I think it was 12, yeah. They're fighting, and their clashes are destroying the, ripping holes in the universe and shit. So, yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, I suppose he can. I don't know if he's a universe buster as far as, like, one shot. I don't know if he can do it in one shot, but if they kept up, it would have been trouble. So if Kai says it, I guess so. Does that make him OP? I don't know. But I've had some issues with that because one thing that both Hail Zeon and Gabby have pointed out to me in the past is that, and they're right, it's kind of dumb that a character has the ability to destroy a universe, because if you destroy the universe, where are you going to go? Like, are you going to go to another universe? Is there a universe on top of a universe? Doesn't really make sense. Why would the universe allow something that can destroy itself? See what I'm saying? Like, think about, like, physics, Why would the universe create something that, would destroy itself? It doesn't make any sense. How big is the DBZ universe? Isn't it like 4 galaxies? Since there are 4 Kais and each Kai watches over a galaxy. Yes, that is correct. There's north, south, east, and west galaxy, which is kind of weird because, they're using the nautical north, south, east, and west thing, and it's just funny because there is no north in space. I know Jesse from from DBZ Next Dimensions talked about this. There's no north or south in space, but it's Toriyama. But it's pretty big. I mean, really, each galaxy is humongous. There's tons of planets in each one. It is pretty big. Like, how big? I mean, they never gave us a measurement, but it's pretty damn big. But you're right. There are 4 Kais, and each one watches over a galaxy. That is correct. Will Whis even be surpassed? I hope not. I hope not, too, but I do hope that he gets challenged at least. he is the most powerful character in Dragon Ball, not including Gogeta and GT, because that's up for debate. I'll be honest with you though. At this point, I kind of feel like Whis is stronger than Gogeta. I didn't think so a few weeks ago, but after the feats that we've seen recently in Dragon Ball Super, if Whis really is that much stronger than Beerus, then this guy could destroy multiple universes? I mean, who knows, right? Some fans have said that they think that Goku will surpass everybody because he always does. However, that kind of predictable storytelling, I don't know if we're going to see it in Super. I would be kind of bummed out if it was just Goku surpassing him. I don't want to see it. Will Piccolo get stronger in Dragon Ball Super? I hope he does. Well, he's on some of the promotional material, not a lot, and he is fighting, so I think he might get a little stronger. I just don't know how, unless he pulls like a Gas Carlo or whatever his name is and fuses with a bunch of other Namekians. He doesn't, he can't really, use the Zenkai boost. So it's, like Goku and Vegeta can. So I mean, I don't know. It would have to be some kind of MacGuffin power up. Krillin versus Tien. Krillin versus Tien. I just think, I honestly believe that Tenshinhan is more powerful. I really, really do. I've talked about this before. Even though in the promotional material for Resurrection F, it does say that Krillin is the more powerful human, I just find it hard to believe based on feats. Again, the fact that Tenshinhan was able to hold back second form Cell, and the fact that he was able to block a Majin Buu beam. Even though it was, I don't know if he could have taken on Majin Buu. Probably not. Just an impressive feat. I just have a hard time believing that Krillin surpassed him. I really do. Plus, the secret is that Tenshinhan is not fully human either. I think BLACKENFIST did a video about this, so go check it out. Name some of your subscribers' names that you can remember, the ones that comment a lot. Shuto's JAYAIN, Moises Win, Red 8. I'm just naming them off the top of my head here. Who else? Ruben, Roka Soka, who's one of QAAMAN's guys. He was one of his boys first. Justin Moore. There's so many. I mean, there's just so many who have been around. Sam Baller, of course. They've been around from the beginning. Gunner's another one. Gunner, you know who you are. There's just so many, yo. Then there's the guys with the random names like Son Goku. And, I don't know these guys. They just use Dragon Ball character names. There's probably about 100 accounts on YouTube with the name Son Goku. So, the Arcosian, there's so many. These are the ones that I see all the time. But there's more. I mean, there's more. Just we don't have time to go through all of them. How strong is the Super Kaioken? From Josiah Dean. That's, of course, from the filler, so it's difficult to range it. But the Kaioken, if it's a Kaioken, they don't really specify the degree of multiplier. But if Goku's fighting, Paikuhan in his SSJ1, or maybe he's fighting him in full power SSJ, and then he uses the Kaioken, the multiplier would stack. So it would be a 50 times multiplier plus whatever Kaioken it is times 3 or whatever, times 20 even. So just take the power that you think that Goku had during the Cell fight and multiply it. That's the only way to figure it out. I would say it's not quite at the level of SSJ2. But again, that's difficult to touch because Paikuhan one-shotted Cell. And Gohan had trouble with Cell. I mean, he didn't have that much trouble with him, but Super Perfect Cell he certainly did have trouble with. I've had trouble with the fucking Otherworld tournament. I think it's a fun saga, but there's so many inconsistent power scaling moments that it really just leaves my head scratching. My headcanon, to make it all make sense, is that when Paikuhan attacked Cell, he was weakened from the fight with Gohan. I know I'm just literally making that up out of my ass, but that's the only way I can sleep at night when it comes to figuring out why he was able to one-shot Cell. Who do you think has the best relationship? Videl and Gohan, Android 18 and Krillin, Bulma and Vegeta, or Chi-Chi and Goku? I have talked about this with Super JAYAIN. We may do a video on just this topic, who has the best relationship. I think they're all good for different reasons. Honestly, I really believe that. I really like 18 and Krillin's relationship, and I really like Videl and Gohan. There seems to be some genuine admiration. Of course, Bulma and Vegeta's is very, very fun, and Vegeta does love her, and vice versa. And Chi-Chi and Goku, the Chi-Chi and Goku are an example of a couple who are focused more on raising the kid than they are kind of spending time with each other. Because we don't really see Goku and Chi-Chi actually spend time together. Doesn't mean they don't. We just don't see it that much. So I would probably rank theirs last, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I just think that Chi-Chi was more focused on being a mother. You know, psychology does tell us that, you know, and human nature tells us that when you're in a relationship and you have a kid, the love kind of focuses on raising the kid, so the passion kind of goes away. The passion becomes about raising the kid. That's been scientifically proven. So that's kind of what happened there. But were they even passionate to begin with? Who knows? That's a weird relationship. How do you feel about the abandoned by Disney Mowgli's Place story? Do you think it's real or not? Was it made up or did it really happen? I have no idea what you're talking about. I might need more information. Leave a comment below. Let me know what he's talking about. Do you think SSJ4 Gogeta is stronger than Beerus and Whis? I think not. I love your channel and your videos. Well, thank you. I did a video that was taken down by YouTube, which I'm actually working on getting put back up. It was a BS community strike that I got. I don't know. Basically, they told me that there's like a tag that I put that was wrong. I don't really know which one. I'm working with them as we speak right now on that. Might be back up by the time that you see this video, but I don't know yet. I did it with Dragon Ball Nation about GT characters versus Super characters. And prior to episode 12 of Dragon Ball Super, I would have thought that Gogeta would have smoked Beerus and Whis. Now I don't know. Now I'm a little skeptical. But Gogeta is ridiculously more powerful. So if you were to ask me who would be the one guy in Dragon Ball who actually would have a shot at Whis, it would be Gogeta. Not saying he would win, just saying he'd have a shot at it. Frightening things we never saw in Dragon Ball. Tien with severe case of conjunctivitis. I can't even pronounce that word, Majin. So when I first... This fucking guy again, bro. He just copies the same thing. I'm not going to read your bullshit, bro. It's not a crime to have the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Blue instead of orange. That makes color mixing sense. I guess it does, the blue and the orange. What program do you use to make your videos? I was using Movie Maker, but I'm switching over to using Premiere. Probably. Those are the two that I recommend. Well, Movie Maker kind of sucks, but I mean, that's how I started. You gotta start somewhere. Premiere, Sony Vegas, and Camtasia seem to be the three most popular ones for YouTubers. Do you think there will be an episode in Dragon Ball Super about how or why Whis trains all the gods of destruction? From Your Pet Rock. I don't think Whis trains all of them, unless you mean all the ones from Universe 7, then I would say yes. I do hope we get some backstory on Whis. I love Whis, and I want to know more about it. Why are there so many plot holes in DBZ GT compared to the other big three Shonen, One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach? Is it that Toriyama is a poor writer when it comes to story crafting and consistency? That's part of it. Is it really okay that he doesn't know his own material? No, it's not okay. The other three don't have glaring problems. Well, yeah, Toriyama's not the best writer, especially later on in the series. If you watch Dragon Ball or read Dragon Ball, you can kind of tell that the storytelling does fall off a cliff after the Frieza saga. Everything prior to that was built up pretty well. Very few there's a few inconsistencies, but not that many. But when you get to the Cell arc and the Buu arc, especially the Buu arc, you see a lot of it. So I guess Toriyama just got lazier as time went on. But of course, like we've talked about before, this guy was working on manga since 1977 or whatever. I mean, the guy was working nonstop. But yes, he's not the best writer. I will never say he's the best writer, but he is a fantastic writer when he's inspired. But I do agree he should really focus on work and on consistencies. When are you dropping the Big D album on iTunes with your intros? I would have gone platinum by now. From John Dosadel. I don't know, bro, but that would be awesome. Maybe I will do it. Do you think there will be more Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan transformations like SSG, SS2, SG, SS3? Or do you think SSG, SS is Goku and Vegeta ultimate form? I think it is their ultimate form. I don't think we're going to see anything more. But if they want to sell more toys, you never know. Can Goku be revived in the future by someone giving up his life for him because of X reasons? They did it in the present timeline with Goku and Okai. Or the Dragon Ball's limitations will also be applied in that scenario, die from natural causes. A couple questions you're asking here. Number one, we don't have enough information about the kind of sacrifice that old Kai made. So what happened in the manga and in the anime is that old Kai sacrificed his life so that Goku may live. He basically gave Goku a soul. We don't know if that's because he's a Kai, aka a god of creation, and can do that. We don't know if other characters like lesser gods or if just the humans can do that. I don't think they can. I think that's just a skill that the Kaios can do. So I guess if another Kaio tried to revive him, it could work. But if he dies from natural causes, I think he's probably going to want to stay dead. I think. And if he dies from natural causes, it'll be that he's probably old. I don't think he's going to get another heart disease. So I don't know. I don't think he'll be brought back again. I mean, I think that if he dies for other reasons, then perhaps he could. But for natural causes, I don't think he would even want to. Do you think there'll be any more transformations from Ryan Bamford? I answered that earlier, but thanks for sending that in. I accidentally asked you my last question anonymous. This is from Beerus, the God of Destruction, but I was kind of pissed at the outcome of Superman vs. Goku. But after hearing you, who I call the God of DBZ, thank you, say that Superman Prime should win, I can only believe you, so thanks. Well, actually, that may have changed because Goku's SS God power is getting stronger, so we'll find out at the end of Super. We'll revisit that one at the end of Superman. Not Superman, Dragon Ball Super. Hey, Big D, where can I download the full album of DB songs with your vocals? You're funny as F. Doesn't have a bad voice for singing. From Mateus Carneo. Second person to send that in. I'll put something up eventually, man. I just got too much on my plate right now. Given he had a pretty cool part of the second episode, do you think Vegeta will get a chance to shine in Dragon Ball Super compared to DBZ? Yes. Yes. This is a 3-month-old question, so I mean, I'm answering from the bottom up. Vegeta will definitely have a chance to shine. Can the Eternal Dragons really bestow immortality on anyone? As we all know, both Vegeta and Frieza wanted to become immortal, but what if the dragons cannot bestow immortality on beings more powerful than their creators? After all, Shenron can't kill anyone stronger than his creator for reasons. If you watch my video on Dragon Ball In Depth number 10, the entire history of Dragon Balls, I do somewhat cover this in that it is somewhat of a unanswered question because, yes, the dragons cannot do anything to beings that are more powerful than their creators. That is true, but then how are they able to resurrect people who are more powerful? I guess the way it works is that, and it never made sense to me, but go watch that video because I talk about it. Like the dragons subconsciously ask them for permission, or maybe because it's a good wish, you know, maybe that's, you know, maybe if it's a good wish and not a harmful wish, the dragon could do it because they just, I guess the forces of the universe just assume that the more powerful being won't mind it. That's all I can think of. I would say that Garlic Jr. was significantly more powerful than Kami. We saw them fight, and Garlic Jr. won the fight, and he got the freaking wish. And I know it was a movie, but I don't know, man. It seems like it would make logical sense. I would just say, again, it's very difficult to explain because I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I guess they just ask. I don't know, subconsciously. Is Goku really stronger than Vegeta? Most would say yes because Goku has SSJ3, but put them on an even field of SSJ2 or SSJ3, could Goku still beat Vegeta on his own? Personally, I'm inclined to say no, as Goku, despite all the techniques and training and various masters, had never defeated Vegeta. Well, the reality is that, yes, you're right in that when Goku fought Vegeta the first time, it took the Kaioken ×3 and ×4 to defeat Vegeta. Vegeta had to use the Uzaru form. Now, if Vegeta uses the Uzaru form, is that cheating? Is that cheap? Goku used the Kaioken. I mean, they're both techniques, right? So Vegeta technically won the fight. I mean, he broke all of Goku's bones. And then the second time, which was Majin Vegeta, Vegeta knocked Goku out when he wasn't looking. So that was cheaper. But also, Goku, the reality is that even though it is something that Toriyama came up with on the fly, and if you read the manga, Goku actually states, you know, me and Vegeta were at equal strength and I can't beat Boo. And that's not true at all, considering that Goku says later on in the series that he could beat Boo the entire time with SSJ3. So he wasn't at equal strength with Vegeta. So if you take the entire story and put it into perspective, if Goku fought Majin Vegeta and he went all out with SSJ3, he would have beat him. So yes, Goku would win. Now, though, when it comes to the God powers based on Resurrection F, I would say that they're even. A couple more questions before we get out of here. How well do you think Mr. Satan would do as a fighter in Dragon Ball? You know, before every other character could tank bullets and destroy a planet with their fingertips. Well, people tank bullets in Dragon Ball, brother. So, you know, he wouldn't do so well against the super-powered guys. I think he would take on some of the Red Ribbon Army. Like, you know, like White, he could probably take on. I don't think he could take on Metallic. He probably could beat Murasaki the Ninja. I would think he could. He could probably beat some of the tournament participants. He could probably beat, like, King Choppa and those guys. But he's not going to beat Goku. He's not going to beat Roshi. He's not going to beat Yamcha. Yeah, that's right. He's not going to beat Yamcha. He's not going to beat Gidan, I don't think. He's not going to beat Tenshinhan. He's not going to beat Piccolo. But the regular humans, I could see him beating. Toriyama says the strongest human on Earth, so the strongest non-key user or whatever. It's just that compared to the strong guys, he ain't shit. Last question from BioWolf Beyond. Just watched your How Kai got his planet back video on YouTube, and it got me thinking about the Namekian Dragon Balls in GT. Do you think the Namekians stopped using them after the events of the Shadow Dragons? That's a great question, dude. That is a fantastic question because I don't know. Like, we don't know. We don't know the answer to that because the series is over. But I would like to think that the events of what happened with the Shadow Dragons made them realize that we have to go back to the way things are, and we can't just use them. But here's the thing you have to understand. The Namekians never used the Namekian Dragon Balls until the Earthlings got involved. You got to think about that. The Namekians had the Namek Dragon Balls, and we're talking about after the Frieza saga. They were at peace. There wasn't shit going on until the Earthlings came, you know, hey, boo, this and that, you know, we need the balls. I feel like if they were left to their own, they wouldn't even need to use them. And I think that as a result of that, you know, I doubt anybody's going to invade that planet. I mean, you know, even Sorbet and Tagoma and Resurrection F could not find the planet, which is weird. Because you would think with that technology they could. But they couldn't. So the answer is that I don't think they would even use them anyways. You know what I mean? Unless some kind of catastrophic event happened. So that's all I can think of. But thank you for sending that question in. All right, that's it for this Geekdom Q&A. One last thing I want to say is that I heard from a little bird that Goku T23 was upset at the comments I made about him in the last Q&A, a 25,000 subs Q&A. He basically, I didn't see it, but somebody commented on one of his videos, said, hey, Geekdom trashed you, and then he's like, I'm glad and then Goku T23 said, I'm glad he's mad at me. I have nothing against Goku Hadir as a man. I just think he's a shitty YouTuber who doesn't do his homework and doesn't really know shit about Dragon Ball, and at least learn how to spell and proper grammar. I don't really have a problem with him as a man, nor do I hate him. I think that he has a small dick, because he can't stand being corrected, even though he's wrong a lot of the times. And to me, I don't respect people like that. I don't respect people who their egos are big and their dicks are small and they can't handle constructive criticism. Because I never dissed that guy. I never insulted that guy ever when I corrected him. I just said, hey, man, you know, this is incorrect. And I cited my source and I said, this is why. And now he thinks that I hate him. I don't hate him. I just think he needs to do his homework, because to me, like Jay said before, if you're a big YouTuber and you have a lot of subscribers, you know, over 10,000, you have an obligation, I think, to do your homework and to respect the community and respect your subs and not be a lazy motherfucker and not do your homework. And it kind of makes me laugh that he said that he's glad that I hate him, even though the reality is that he fucking cried to Josh asking him, you know, on PM, he sent Josh from Dragon Ball Nation a message, why do you keep making fun of me? Why do you hate me? Blah, blah, blah. And Josh pretty much told him, I don't hate you, bro. I hate your content because you don't do any homework. The same thing I just said. And Hadir just couldn't take it and just didn't reply back. And to this day, he hasn't replied back. So grow a set of balls, bro, and fucking do your homework. You can be a good YouTuber. Look, Goku T23 can be a good YouTuber. He has done a few what-ifs that I respect, where he does put thought into it. He just has to do his homework. You have to do your homework. That's all I'm saying. That is all that I'm saying. I want to unite the community. If you love Dragon Ball, I love you. I have nothing against anybody in the community with the exception of those that try to, you know, poison my brothers. Like, you know what I mean? That's the only time I have a problem, is when you try to poison kids and shit by bullshitting them. So Goku T23, if you're watching this, I have no heat with you. Just do your homework, bro. And stop having a small dick and stop crying about what I say or what Josh says. Just make better videos, man. I wanted to work with that guy one time. Just do that. Anyways, I'm out. Thanks, everybody, for checking out the Q&A. I'll catch you down the road.